talk about how we can use chord 5/7 when modulating the key. So there are three most common ways to modulate the key in the music are relative major to relative minor to relative major, and tonic to dominant. So these are the most common way to modulate the key in the music. And did you know that when the modulation occurs, always you see the dominant triad, the chord tones of dominant triad of the new key. But here's what we can do. Instead of using chord 5, you can use chord 5/7. So chord 5/7 will give you 4 notes when composing a melody in the modulation instead of 3. Chord 5 will have only 3 notes, but chord 5/7 has 4 notes. So it's gonna add more interest when you are writing the melody for modulation. So when you're using chord 5/7 when modulating the key, you're gonna have 4 notes instead of 3. So it gives more interest in the melody when modulating. And also chord 5/7 will always contain the accidental. So this one starts in F major and that ends with C, which is the dominant of tonic. Alright, so ends with C. So that is the key of the modulation. Right? So what is a 5/7 of C? G7. Alright, so that's how you see the B natural, right? Okay, so you see the G7 chord in the new melody. Yes, that's what you see. Alright, let's look at the second melody. So that starts in F major and that ends with B flat, which is the subdominant. Alright, so that starts in F, right? And ends with the subdominant, which is the 4th note of F major, ends with B flat. So what is the 5/7 chord of a B flat? F, right? F7. So can you see the chord tones of F7 and plus the flat next to E, right? So you see the chord tones of 5/7 of new key, which is F7 chord. Alright, so now let's look at the final melody. So that also starts in an F major and that ends with D, which is a D minor. Alright, so modulating to relative minor. So what is the 5/7 of D? A. So A7 is a 5/7 of D. So you're going to see the C sharp from A7 chord because A7 chord is the 5/7 chord of D minor. So here's what we can do. Instead of using chord 5, try to use chord 5/7 when modulating the key because it gives you 4 notes instead of 3. So it adds more interest in the melody. And also will always have the accidental when using chord 5/7, right? So that also gives the melody more interest when listening because it will always contain the accidental. So it makes the music sound more interesting to listen.